Welcome. Welcome. I'm so excited and honored. I really am very honored that you're here with me today. This means a lot. And I know that this is going to be a very powerful session. My goal for today is very, very simple. That I want you to leave with steps that you can actually use right away. These steps are manageable, they're clear, and they do not require a finance degree. I know people think that when we're talking about money, I need to have a finance degree to be able to understand it or do it, but that's not true. So I know from personal experience how intimidating numbers can feel, and I also know how real money trauma can be. For so many of us, it's the number one thing that holds us back financially. I know that has been the case for me. It took me a long time to unblock my mindset so I can be able to move forward. But this ends today. We're going to face it together and start creating change. Here's what we're going to go through in this masterclass today. First, the truth about money stress. We're going to dig into hidden beliefs that hold so many of us back. And trust me, I'm the first to raise my hand here because this has been the big area of growth for me as well. And second, we're going to go from chaos to clarity. I'll be sharing simple and practical tools that you can use immediately to feel more in control of your money. And finally, the best part, your strategic roadmap. And I'll explain why DIY, which is do it yourself. It took me a long time to actually learn what that actually means too. So why DIY doesn't usually work because I was doing it myself and that's why I didn't know what that means. And what are the real meaningful steps that actually move the needle? Throughout the class, I'll share real life stories from clients so you can see how these tools truly play out in everyday life. Let's get started. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Doina Onchal and I'm a financial educator. I didn't come from money. At one point, I was $60,000 in debt. That was about 15 years ago. I was $60,000 in debt. I was on welfare and I was raising two kids on my own while I was living in the shelter. I know what it feels like to be stressed about bills and scared about future. But once I learned how money really works, everything changed. I paid off my debt. I bought my first home. It took me 10 years, but I bought my first home. I built my credit, and then I started building a legacy for my kids. That journey made me passionate about helping families. I trained under top financial experts, and then I became a licensed advisor, and I built a reputation for making money simple and practical because that's what's missing for me, and I know how important it is for everybody, right? And here's the thing. Fun fact, another fun fact, I gave up my license because I don't want to sell products. I feel there's enough people out there that are really capable of selling financial products. But what I want to do and what my zone of genius is to teach and educate because I believe everyone deserves real knowledge so they can make empowered choices. Another fun fact, when I was in debt, I went inside the bank and I said, I need help. I want you to help me, teach me what to do. And they said, I cannot book an appointment with you until you have $5,000 in the bank. And I said, well, can you teach me how to make that $5,000? And they said, that's not my job. You're on your own. So this is why teaching financial literacy is a big passion for me. I now help women and I help parents and I help couples to go from money stress to money confidence with strategies that are clear and they're doable and they actually work in real life. So let's get started. Okay, the step one that I have for you is money stress. Most of us, if not all of us, have it. And I want to check in with you here if any of those things that I'm about to share with you sound familiar. You are making money, but somehow it feels like this is not enough. Everyone thinks that you're doing just fine. And they may even think that you're bougie rich, okay? But in real life, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Putting my hand up because I've been there. That creates more stress because you're constantly trying to keep up with the Joneses or whoever those Joneses are in your community. If that's you, or if it's ever been you, you can drop it in the chat. Another thing is when you want to talk about money with your partner or your family, it causes you tension. So much tension that you could cut it with a knife. In fact, studies show that 50% of couples say money is the number one cause of stress in their relationship. Honestly, this doesn't surprise me at all. Most of us never saw our parents talk openly and calmly, like you were here, calmly about money. So, of course, we don't know how to have those conversations ourselves. Yet, we're expected to adult with experience. Like my daughter said to me after she turned 18, 2 days later, I said, okay, now you're a grown up. She goes, I don't have experience. I'm not ready to be a grown up. So, the same, we don't have that experience. When you check your bank account, you feel like there's a knot in your stomach. Or maybe you avoid looking at your bank account altogether. That was me. You just know that is not enough and you're scared to face that reality. I want you to know that that's not your fault. You were never taught how to manage money, but at the same time, society makes you feel like you should already know it. Putting my hand up because I've been there. Lastly, maybe you tried budgeting, you tried saving, or you gave investing a try before, or you started following some general advice that you saw online, but it never stuck. All of those are signs that there's hidden beliefs underneath. Beliefs like I'll always struggle financially if I don't work myself to the bone. Like, that's wealth was mentioned. It was never us. The struggle and lack of things, including money, it was the norm in my household. It was so normal that it was just like, it's okay to be poor, basically. And then, go study hard and work really hard so you can be rich. Or if I make more money, I'll just spend more. There's I say, more money, more problem. The one that I often hear is money isn't meant for people like me. Putting my hand up again, because in my household growing up, anytime things that also came up, the people that have the money and the wealth, they're not really good people. How could that even be possible? And so I always had in my mind that I need to be good, therefore means I can't have money. So I had to get some work done. This is the story that I grew up with. So you are not alone. These beliefs shape everything. Our emotions around money, our behavior with money, and our ability to make money work for us. And until we uncover them, they keep us stuck in stress cycles, even when we try to do everything right, especially when we're trying to do it alone. Because the old emotions about money take over and suddenly it feels too overwhelming to even try. Again, I speak from experience, but also experience with clients when we're having our sessions and the next thing you know, they burst out crying. So I was grateful that I was able to be there for them to uncover and unpack all these beliefs and emotions that were coming up. This is what happens with my client Lee. She was buried in debt and convinced that her family would never get to enjoy things like traveling or making memories because money was just too tight. But after we worked together, she finally understood why she couldn't manage her budget and why saving always felt impossible for her. She started making changes, and now she's on her way to financial freedom. And hearing about the milestones that she shares with me about her and her family and where they are now, honestly, that's the best part of what I do. It truly is. Pause for a minute and give you a couple of minutes to just really think about what is one belief you've been holding on to that might be limiting you financially. Once you name it, the next step is questioning it. People usually stop at questioning those beliefs, right? This is where you can ask yourself, what makes this true? Where did this belief come from? Whose voice is it? Or is it even my voice that I'm hearing? And what would my life look like if this belief was no longer in charge? I'm going to share with you some tools that you can use to keep working on uncovering hidden beliefs. The first one, it's very powerful. It's journaling or free writing. You can start with prompts like money for me is, and then just let it all on paper, whatever that is. Or you can start with when I think about money, I feel, and then just let it all on paper. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to write it down. This is your session with yourself. Reflect on your money story. What messages about money did you grow up hearing? And use those same questions from earlier to go deeper into that reflection. Like, what makes this true? Where did it come from? And whose voice is it? Because sometimes we might have heard the parents, we don't have enough. This money is not for us. And that's when you work to let that go. This is your time for you to work to let that go. You can pay attention to your emotional triggers. So whenever you feel guilt or shame or fear about money, pause and ask yourself, what belief is underneath this? You don't know what that comes for you until you actually sit still and start writing it down if that helps, right? Or you can just think it. Whatever works for you. Again, this is your session, you make it your own, right? And remember, you don't need to tackle every belief at once. Start with one, make it simple, right? Now, step two, we can move from chaos to clarity. I love clarity. I love it so much. I love clarity. It's the best thing ever. Once you've surfaced the hidden beliefs in step one, the next piece is having practical tools that you can use today to start feeling more in control. Chaos with money can look like this: not knowing where your money is going. You have zero idea where your money is going. You having multiple debts or multiple accounts and not knowing what to pay first. And then you feel overwhelmed every time you open your banking app. If that's where you are right now, I want you to hear me clearly. That's okay. It's not failure, it's just the starting line from you. Whatever was in the past was, and you can't change it, but right now is where you start, and the future is where you're going. And of course, you're going to use clarity to do it. So let's get into that. Three tools that I have for you to use in terms of achieving clarity. The tool number one is tracking. I know it sounds simple and it can get overwhelming at the same time, but don't underestimate the power of tracking. For 1 week or for 1 month, track every single transaction in your spending category. You don't need to use anything fancy. Use your notebook and just write things down. Or if you want to look at your phone app and see your transactions, the spending that you made. I like to use pen and paper. So I write it down and I look at it at the end of the week or the end of the month. Here's the key: don't judge it. All the transactions that you see, there's that saying, we listen and we don't judge. In this case, we look at it and we don't judge it, okay? And don't shame yourself. Simply observe it. See what stands out for you. Also notice what surprises you. What are some of the transactions that you made? And for example, let's say you bought a bag that cost you $200. You don't need a lot of bags, but you just bought a bag. And then you can look at it and you say, why did I buy this bag? Did I need it? Did I want it? What was happening for me at the time when I bought that bag? Was I having an emotional moment? Was I having a hard time? Or was I feeling depressed or whatever was happening for you? That tells you that these are the things that you need to work on. So you're not going to use shopping therapy to solve it, right? The awareness alone gives you power because you can change what you can see. The number two tool that I have for you is to prioritize one thing. This is where people usually trip up. They try to fix everything at once. I mean, it can get so overwhelming that you want to fix it all, but then you end up fixing nothing because, again, it gets so overwhelming. Instead, pick just one financial priority to focus on. Maybe it's building your emergency fund. Maybe it's cutting one recurring subscription you don't even use. Maybe it's opening that investment account or finally looking into that extra income stream that you've been thinking about. That single focus creates clarity, and clarity creates momentum. And tool number three is to simplify your systems. That could mean setting up an autosave account. That could mean choosing one money app instead of juggling three. I've seen people that have 4 or 5 different apps to manage their money, and I'm thinking, why? You don't need so many. Or it might look like a weekly mini check-in with yourself or your partner. If you have a partner, or I have that with my kids, it's important to have those check-ins, right? Here's what I know to be true. The simpler your system, the more likely it sticks. And once it becomes natural for you, then you can add on that next layer. All right, I want to bring you into this. What is the one priority that you think you'll start with today, or that you think that you need to start with today? Once you write it down, whether in the chat or your notebook, magic happens. Naming your priority out loud is the first step towards your action. When you simplify your steps, the financial journey gets so much clearer. I want to move to the final step, which is your strategic roadmap. First, I want to talk to you about what a roadmap isn't, because a lot of people hear it, but they don't really understand what it actually isn't. A roadmap, it's not a bunch of random money tips that don't even apply to your own unique situations. You know those 3 steps to wealth posts you see on social media? Well, unless it's from me, of course. But seriously, that kind of generic advice doesn't get you far. And a roadmap, it's also not something that you should do completely on your own. Money brings up so many emotions and so much confusion that trying to go solo makes it easy to give up. What you actually really need is a plan that's customized, guided, and supported. What does a strategic roadmap actually include? I'm about to tell you, I'm glad you asked. Roadmap includes clear goals. You have short goals, medium, and long term goals. Whatever they are for you, there's a your goal. So you get to decide an honest assessment. And I mean honest assessment of where you are right now. Because without being honest where you are, it's hard for you to actually achieve the goals that you want. And it also includes prioritized steps in order so you know what to do first, second, and third. So when you only have one step that you're focusing on, it's okay to start with one first, but knowing what coming up next, it will motivate you to complete that first step because you know what's the next thing coming, right? So have the first step, the second, and the third. And it also includes milestones and checkpoints to track your progress. Just like you track your spending, you track your progress and accountability and adjustments. You build that in because life happens, okay? Life can be life in sometimes. Here's how it flows. You start with addressing your mindset and beliefs from step one so you can make decisions about fear and shame. You plug leaks and build systems from step two. Then you create a budget and cash flow plan that reflects your real priorities and your goals. Only after stability comes, so you build that foundation, then you can move on to investments and growth. Most people skip straight to investing because they heard some guru to say you have to start investing. But if you don't have the foundation, the stability, you will give up. And I have worked with people who have said, I want to invest. And I said, okay, cool, let's do it. I got them all to investing. They came back to me a month later and they said, I don't have enough money to buy groceries. So I have to stop investing right now, which again, build a foundation and build that cash flow, your savings, and then your investments, because you don't want to start from square one every month, right? Once you start, you want to go forward. And finally, a roadmap includes regular reviews. So you stay flexible and on track because plans can bend, but that doesn't mean that they break. Okay, let me tell you why I do this work. I had bill collectors calling me every single day. Every single time I still hear someone else's ringtone that was mine back then, it's anxiety inducing for me. Okay. I was stressed, I was ashamed, and I didn't know where to start. And at some point, I realized I couldn't do it alone. I had to get help. And that's why I do this now. I wanted to educate and walk alongside women and couples and parents as they build their financial success. This is personal for me, and I want you to know that it's possible for you too. Okay, now we've seen the 3 steps framework that takes you from stress to strategy. And while this framework absolutely works, I know that many people need ongoing guidance and accountability to truly implement it. And that's why I created the financial roadmap packages. They're designed for different stages in your journey. I have the starter roadmap, which is 4 sessions. This is perfect for you if you want a focus plan and some quick wins. If you're making money but don't really know where it's going, this is your jumpstart. You live with the plan and what steps to take next and feel confident instead of lost. The growth roadmap is for those who want deeper support, not just a plan, but accountability to stay consistent. We meet every 2 weeks. In fact, all of my roadmaps, I meet with my clients every 2 weeks. We track progress and adjust as we go. This is where you move from I have a plan, I'm living my plan. And then legacy roadmap. This one is for families and individuals who want to build long-term wealth. We start where you are, whether it's tackling your debt, preparing for milestones like maybe you want to get married, maybe you want to buy a home, maybe you want to start a business, or you want to plan for your kids' future. This is about creating a foundation for yourself and future generations. Because I know that if you're nodding your head during this masterclass thinking, yes, this is me, yes, I need this clarity, then this is your next step. And any of the plans, whether it's starter or growth or legacy, it will help you build the plan and give you support that changes the way you handle money forever. All right, that's the framework, that's the roadmap, and those are your options if you want to take this deeper with me. Now, I want to move on to the best part, and that is you. I want to hear what questions you have for me. Feel free to drop them in the chat. You can ask me the questions, and I would love to dive in and demystify some stuff for you. You don't have to endure financial stress. Opt for a strategic approach instead. And if I can say one more thing about that, I've been there in the financial stress, but when I looked for the strategic approach, is where I got to where I am. I haven't achieved all of my goals. One of my goals is to have at least 1,000 women a year to help them with their financial roadmap so that they can be on their way to success. I have a passion for working with women, especially because I am one, and I know that women need more financial support, and I'm here to give it to you. So thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, let's go.